Hey teacher friends and mama friends, welcome. I'm so excited you're here and I am very excited to make this video. So let me tell you, I have been debating forever whether or not I was gonna make this video, and I was like, you know what, today is the day. It is happening. I am talking about it because we need to talk about it. So look, if you don't know, breastfeeding your baby while you are a working mom is hard. It is a lot of work because breastfeeding itself is a whole job, and then you are a mama, which is a whole job, and then you are a professional, in my case a teacher, and teachers, you know, that is a lot of work. But I will tell you this, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm very happy that I did it and I loved it. But it took some finagling and figuring out and all of those things. And I will say this, the one thing that I was always wishing I could find a video for, because I stayed on YouTube looking at breastfeeding moms, looking at pumping videos, nursing videos, all kinds of things to try to help me out in my process. And I said the one thing that I wish I could find was a good video telling me how I can still teach, because you know, teachers, we have jobs that are not traditional, sitting behind your desk type jobs where we like go in and out of meetings and kind of have a bit more flexible schedule. We're responsible for a whole batch of children all the time. I wish I had a video about that, and I wish I had a video that was realistic. So if you are looking for the hack to be able to help you pump like 30-40 bags of milk and have this huge storage and freezer full of milk and all kinds of things, no shade to the women who do have that video, but this is not it. I'm gonna give you some realistic tea on how to balance both, some tips and tricks, some things that will help you, in my humble opinion. Of course, I'm not a lactation consultant, so you know, all of the things. This is just me telling you what has helped and worked for me, and hopefully it helps and works for you, mama. And let me know in the comments if it does. Let me know if something resonates with you, all the things. First things first, if you want to keep nursing your child, what I have learned from all the lactation consultants I've talked to, read from, saw Instagram posts from, all the things, supply and demand. All the other stuff is nice, and I think it helps in conjunction with supply and demand, but ultimately supply and demand. Okay, so that means you've got to stay pumping when you are not directly with your baby. And so for me, our first tip I will tell you is, when you go back to work, absolutely ask for what you need. Be vocal, say these are the things you need, and absolutely take the time. Like at the end of the day, at first it used to really bother me because I was like, my students are missing valuable instruction, or I'm feeling like I'm not spending as much, you know, time doing things the way I normally would, or whatever the case. But ultimately, your primary job is to feed and keep your baby alive, right? You need to feed your baby. You need to keep your baby healthy. That is your number one job. So speak up for what you need. Now, when it comes to pumping, I think, so what worked for me the best was kind of having two pumps. I had my Spectra pump that I kept at home that sat by my bedside. And I'll try to find like a picture of a Spectra, but like the one that I got through my insurance, it's the big heavy duty plug into the wall, stay in one spot pump. And that pump stayed at home. And I used the Spectra cups. The little bottles were done. The Spectra cups are wonderful. If you haven't looked into them, the Spectra cups are great. And the Spectra pump is amazing. I love it. And it pulls a lot of milk, and I think it's great. However, when it came to pumping at work, baby, friend, let me tell you, this is my pump right here. This is the LV pump. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can see it, but this is the LV pump. So LV has two pumps. This is the Stride, I believe. So this is the one that still has like the connecting, what do you call it? The tubes and stuff. It's not the one that's completely without tubes and everything. So when I did my research and I read, they called this one a hospital grade pump. And so for me, I needed something that I could be hands-free with, but I still wanted it to pull as much milk as possible because, you know, we need the milk. So this thing is great. And there are different versions that you can, or not different versions, but I bought mine from Target because my Target one, this one, came with a whole set. It came with this bag. I'm gonna show you. And it came inside the bag. There's a bag to hold your milk, like a little green bag. Hold on. There's a little green bag to hold your milk. And inside of that green bag, there's the ice cooler that you can have to hold, you know, to keep your milk cold. And then there's another bag for the front to actually hold the pumps. Now these pumps are great as far as like, they're small, they're compact, they slip in. It's very easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's nice. It's easy once you get the hang of it. So I kept a bag of like the pumping bags like on there. The wipes for the safety wipes, like the wipes to wipe the pumps, I would keep in here. And then there's space to like keep your actual base for your pump. I would keep the plug to charge it. And there's like little clips and things if you wanted to hang it from your neck, but I never hung it from my neck. I just would use this clip and clip it on my side. And the nice thing about this pump, so let me tell you, it's not cheap. And I did stack coupons to get it from Target. Target, within the first year of you having a baby, if you had a registry with them, they give you discounts periodically through the Target app. So I suggest checking the Target app weekly to see what kind of discounts you're getting. So it just so happened to be a week that like LV stuff went on sale because it was on sale on Amazon and on Target. So I got it when it was on sale, and then I had another coupon of like buy baby stuff and get a percentage off, and that really helped make it a little more reasonable for me to be able to purchase. But this was my gift to myself, knowing that I was going back to work and going to be pumping. And when I tell you this was a lifesaver, this was a lifesaver. I would every night wash all the pump stuff out, because you've got to wash all the parts, wash all the pump stuff out, lay it all out, let it dry, and then pack this bag every morning and take it with me. You know, have my freezer thing frozen, everything, and then this would just come with me. And the nice thing about it is it's not like it says like pumping bag on it. So half the time if I was carrying it around, everybody thought it was just my lunch. Like there were a couple times where teachers like, you're taking your lunch early, and I'd be like, and I would just keep walking. I go, oh yeah, you know, like whatever. So lifesaver. And the nice thing is, a lot of times you feel isolated when you're pumping because you feel like you have to be in a room by yourself, especially when you have the traditional one, because you kind of do, you know, like you're exposed. Versus this, you can still have lunch with your teacher friends. You just pop, you know, like my teacher friend that I have lunch with all the time, she knew that I was putting my pumps in, so she'd wait a little bit and then, you know, come in a few minutes later. After lunch has already started, I'd pop them in, whatever. And then we get to still enjoy lunch and everything's fine. And then after lunch, before kids come in, I pop them out, pour the milk out, and everything's good. That leads me to my next thing that very much helped. And that was having a personal refrigerator. Now, a lot of teachers already have their little personal fridges in their classroom. I did not. So I was like, I'm just going to join the club of having my little personal fridge now. And when I tell you, the only things that were in my fridge were water and breast milk. Literally. Also, in between pumps, you can put your pumps in a plastic bag and then stick those in the refrigerator as well, so that they don't get nasty and like you're not putting germs, all that kind of stuff. Because there's not, to me, I didn't have time to really clean them in between. Here's the thing, if you have a job where you have a spot where you can go that's not the bathroom, where you can go clean your pumps in between and stuff like that, that is ideal. But if you don't, The wipes are nice. I didn't use the wipes all the time just because it kind of freaked me out, because I feel like I didn't know exactly what was. I mean, I know the wipes are safe, but to me, I'd rather just keep them refrigerated. So unless I needed to clean it, I kept them refrigerated, and I would kind of wipe a little bit as needed. And then every night they were thoroughly cleaned, which is perfectly safe. So don't feel like nervous, perfectly safe. Now, other thing is, you might be saying, okay, boom, I got my pump, I got a place to store it, I got a place to pump, I got a pumping schedule, I'm good. But Marquita, my supply just like fell down. And I would tell you, mama friend, teacher friend, I know, mine did too. And here's the thing, that is because you're moving, you're working, you're away from your baby, the pull down is not the same. And even though this pump says it's hospital grade, it's not gonna pump the same as your baby letting down milk. It's not gonna pump the same as a Spectra. You're gonna collect less milk. So what I had to start doing was power pumping. I'm gonna get you what I did with my power pumping. I'll be right back. Okay, so if you don't know what power pumping is when you pump for about an hour, but it's off and on. So you might do 20 minutes on, 10-minute break, 10 minutes on, 10-minute break, right back and forth. Now, power pumping works if you do it consistently. Like, you've got to do it at least 3-4 days in a row before it kicks in, or it might be a week. Once it got towards the end, like the latter part of the year, I think I power pumped almost every day. I'm just being honest. Because my son drank more milk and I needed to pull more milk, and that was the way I pulled more milk. But when I was trying to build up a stash initially, once my milk supply really got low and I needed to build it back up and I needed to build a stash, and I started power pumping, I did two things. I power pumped, right? And I would also come home sometimes and power pump as well. So I might do a 2 a day. And then I drank this. So I do not like tea at all. So mother's milk tea was not for me. I tried legendary milk. Did not work for me, like the pills. Did not work for me. I tried lactation cookies. They tasted good. Did not really work for me. But this worked for me. And honestly, mamas and teacher friends, you're going to have to try to find what works for you. It kind of is trial and error. These are little packets and they go in your, this is a brand new box, so I'm not gonna open it. But they have little packets of different herbs and things. There is fenugreek in these, so if you're having issue with fenugreek, do not use. It's berry flavored. It actually doesn't taste too bad. You mix it with some water. I used to make, before I went to bed every night, after I washed my pumps and my bottles, I would make a nice ice glass of, like a glass of ice water. I'd put one of these packets in, stir, 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 drink, drink, drink. Because even though it doesn't taste bad, it's not like it's delicious. And then, you know, that really helped. So this combined with power pumping most of the time twice a day really helped with building my supply up. Speaking of power pumping, you might be asking, okay, so Marquita, we're teachers, or maybe we work another job where we're busy. When do you get time to power pump? That's a great question. Now look, when your job gives you time to pump, they're not going to give you power pump time. And so for me, what I end up doing is I would use my conference time, my planning time, which usually was at least an hour, to power pump. And I would have to just be really quick. I also just wore bigger clothes. So sometimes I would be pumping during things like a meeting, or if I knew it was a day where I wasn't going to be standing in front of students, and I was sitting behind a desk for not the whole day, obviously, but part of the day. So like wintertime, I could wear a little bigger sweaters, or I had lots of like I had a good number of teacher tees, like teacher t-shirts that are a little bigger but said like teacher slogans, or college t-shirts, or my school logo t-shirts and things like that that I could pair with a nice pair of pants, so that I'm still looking professional and like appropriate for school, but it's a little bigger so that I can discreetly pump. Because even though they like slide in and you don't really see them, they're not completely invisible, right? Like, but that absolutely helped last. But absolutely not least, I will say this. The thing that helped me the most was, one, watching videos like these. So if it's helping you and you're feeling like you got something out of this, press the like button. But also keeping realistic expectations. I think sometimes because of what we see other mothers doing, or because, which I know for me, I saw lots of videos where people just had these like ginormous stashes and it seemed like pumping milk was just so easy for them. It made me feel like I was doing something wrong. But it wasn't until I did lots of research, until I talked to other people, until I talked to a lactation consultant, you know, that, and then also just after doing it for a while, you recognize you're gonna pump what you're gonna pump, you're gonna produce what you're gonna produce, you're gonna do the best that you can, and that is going to work out fine. And honestly, if it works out where you have to supplement, that's okay too. If you can't do it and it's just too much and you need to stop, that's okay too. But realistic expectations, right? Like realistic day for me means in the morning, this side was pumping 5 ounces and this side was pumping 1.5. And every day I would go, oh my gosh, if I could just get both sides to do the same, then I would be making double the milk and then I would have no worries. And I will tell you, I did it for a year and it never ever happened. The struggle boob is real. If you keep some of the things I told you in mind, it will definitely help. It can be done, but one, kind of little recap, you definitely need to advocate for yourself. Get you a pump that's going to help you to be able to be a bit more hands-free so that you can do more so you can pump and do other things. Get some things to help you accommodate. You know, if it needs a bigger t-shirt, if it means wearing a sweater, or if you have like that jacket that you can always put over it or whatever the case, that's great too. Have your little bag that you like to pack. If having a refrigerator will work for you, that's fine. At the end of the day, it is possible. So just telling you, I hope this helped. It feels good to like get this done and like be able to share, because I've been so excited to share this for a while. If any of those things helped you, if you enjoyed it, if you feel like, you know what, I would like to hear more about like mama journey and being a teacher, let me know in the comments. If you have any other tips to help mamas, let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. Write all the things. We love it. We want to share. And, you know, you made it this far. Hello, subscribe. As always, you are amazing. Bye.